This film is made for Beflo. The team behind this high-tech furniture brand has spent past 2 years working tirelessly to bring their innovative ideas to life, with all of the features they bring to the table. Result seamlessly blends into the home interior, not turning your living room into office space. Let's talk about film structure. This product created to support modern lifestyle, where a lot of people have control over their time and are able to do a lot of their work from home. With that in mind, we created overarching structure in the film, starting at the morning while showing assembly process and going through the day when we have opportunity to show standing features of the table, which is one of the most important feature. And after the sun goes down, we have opportunity to show lighting features. I also like to think about waves of intensities in the film, when fast actions followed by calm periods, so that the viewer will not be bored, trying to not miss out, and the video will not be packed with actions, which is pretty tiring. Our goal was to show assembly process and make it in a playful and elegant way. Half of a film dedicated to assembly and half of a film dedicated to accessories and features. For visual references we had these images. Simple interior with ability to show moving light. For the dark part of a film, as inspiration we used work of James Turrell and his light installations. Even though lighting features of our table able to create any color, we decided to limit it to closely related colors, like bluish and greenish with nice gradients. Let's have a look at the process. I like to start with the sound even before I start working with the animatic, because it helps define timing. Process begins with listening music and trying to imagine some visuals, which is suggested by the sound. We narrowed down 3 possible choices, and there was a winner. This track created by music producer Aleph One, and he made it available on Epidemic Sound, which is in our case was perfect place, because it is essentially techno track, but playing kick drum wasn't really fit here. Fortunately, we just turned off the kick drum and kept rest of the stems. I made rough cut out of different parts of the track, and later my friend Aural Flow mixed it together and also suppressed some frequencies that wasn't a good fit for the film. In the work we are using procedural or non-destructive way of work, which helps to iterate on every project. The main model as well as accessories stored in a separate file, which is called digital asset, and then this asset used in every shot that we are creating. Different shots require different rig from the product, and this is why rig for animation are stored inside of the HIP file, and every shot has its own HIP file. Almost every shot has little bit different rig setup, depending on the need of the shot. Name of the shot and the frame number automatically goes through the compositing right to the editing. This allows easily identify where you need to apply changes while iterating on the project. In this film, interior elements helps to create sense of scale. Our product comes in a pretty big boxes. I scrolled through a lot of different options while searching for right props for the film. I was searching for simple and minimalistic designs, which needs to be at the same time simple and complex. I also played with different combinations of the props, like different carpet, different sets of furniture, different kind of floor. And after all searching process, I ended up with this combination. We have flat place for the product to shine, and we have complex elements on the sides. Simple but complex furniture with organic look. Complexity of the shot goes to contact areas, like contact between furniture and the carpet and books, contact with the floor, little curvature on the water, contact of a light and a wire. Even these marks on the cardboard, and I like how texture of a cardboard working in the shot. Alternative version creates little bit more dizziness. I tried to use this element on the backside of a product, but it works not that good. We lose this thin line which is participating in thirds. And overall it creates a lot of dizziness in the shot. And even though this carpet very detailed, in this shot white carpet works a lot better. To work with the camera I'm using simple rig, which is actually a bunch of null objects. I would love to make it self-contained, but unfortunately in Houdini on object level it is impossible to create output for parenting. I hope it will one day. Maybe in LOPS we will have something similar. This concept of a day requires color change in the atmosphere, because during sunrise and sunset the sun's light has to travel through more of the Earth's atmosphere, which causes the shorter blue wavelength of light to scatter more than the longer red wavelength. This results in the sky appearing red or orange during these times. During the middle of the day, the sun is higher in the sky and the light has to travel through less of the atmosphere, so the sky is appearing more blue. Of course, none of that is possible when you are using static environment captured by the camera. Fortunately, there is a solution for that, which is made as a Blender add-on, where it is possible to animate sunrise and use it as a sequence later in rendering. And also it gave a lot of control over the color of the sky and the sun, which is no longer limited by the image that was captured by the camera. This add-on helped us move much closer to reference images than it was possible with HDRIs. And look how nicely color is changing throughout the shot, from cold blue to a warm yellowish pinkish colors. I also added here white colored light sources to create anchor in white and anchor in black, so that colored atmosphere will not change these two very important colors in the frame, whites and darks. For appearance and disappearance of an object, we used these three-dimensional slices, which is roughly inspired by three-dimensional slicing of four-dimensional object, just roughly. In our case, it made with booleans, which is binded to the slider for easier animation and timing process. Because this effect needs to be available for every accessory we have, and we have a lot of accessories, I made dedicated assets specifically for that, so that we catch in one of the accessories, tweaking a couple of parameters, and if we need to add some functionality, we can do that centralized in this asset, and for every accessory it will be immediately available. In the film we have a lot of animated cables, and Houdini's curve tool made great progress lately. I hope it will be detailed in development even more. Few notes about rendering. As always, I was using my favorite render farm Grid Markets. And as always, they were very supportive and even helped me identify some of the issues I struggled with for a long time. For example, I had this glitch, I had it locally for a long time, and when I saw it on render farm, it turned out that problem was in the version of my Redshift. And I almost buried my graphics card by this time, because this glitch was very inconsistent. And also Grid Markets team showed me that we can use res text bin files directly in the file name fields, and we actually have to do that, because if you just leave this file right next to the JPEG or PNG file you have, sometimes render engine sees it, sometimes it's not, and you're not able to rely on pure existence of this file. You need to explicitly tell Redshift use it, and I believe it is important for every significant project you're working on. All of these little obstacles adds up to the price. And if you're using bounce lighting and complex shading and complex geometry, it's better to use every opportunity to reduce cost of rendering while we all waiting for real-time rendering with offline feature like transformational and particle motion blur. Let's briefly go through the edit. We start with morning shot of a box. Focus point sliding through the box. In the next shot we start our time lapse with a subtle animation of our cardboard parts. We release our product and parts of the product appear in zero gravity. In this shot we have a little bit collision and we show different accessories we have, and assembly process begins. We show what needs to be done. In this shot we have two focus points and we blend between them, connect our legs. In these shots camera parented to the cable connectors, and also we have animated grip. When we start turning our table, this shot inspired by the rocket launch, like in this Atlas V example, and in this interstellar scene where Cooper leaves his family. And we turn it up, accessory is appearing, pretty complex shot, a lot of heavy geometry needs to be cut with the boolean in Houdini. There was a lot of glitches, but after all of the glitches were solved. We introduced cable management, we show that you can plug your laptop with only one cable, with a nice touch of this ribbon element, which was tricky but interesting to create. We show charging feature with indicator of light, touchscreen along with diffuser. One of my favorite shots, look at the velcro tapes, how they flying, they catching, they curling. It was very interesting to do. Then we show underside of the table and the table itself at the night time. In this shot we also have a cable which is appearing to preserve its length when the disc going down to sitting position. And this is our film. This project became central part of my life for a couple of months. It's a lovely product made by one of the nicest people I met. I hope my humble contribution will help this project paint a picture for customers, because create exceptional product is only first part of the equation. It was a cool journey. I appreciate freedom that was given to me. Thanks to everyone involved in the project. Goodbye.
Thank you.